Nick and Claire. Because of my shy, retiring disposition, I shan't be making much of a speech. In fact, I love her absolutely to pieces, but I have to say, no, you've proved to be a great disappointment. As much as this is the first time you've been married, the only time you've been married, and you're letting a long family tradition. Standards. Gotta keep them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all about the standards now.
Really? No. I was just going to say, after the persiflage, I love them both to bits. They are both wonderful people. Better for having each other. And with that in mind, I'd like to call upon the groom to respond. You weren't wrong, were you? That was brief. Barely poured the drink. Okay, well, Grandad John. No. Thank you for your kind words. I knew your speech would be hard to follow, and I was right. I, for one, could hardly follow a word of it. So, for those of you who don't know, John's nickname is the Exorcist. This is because when he enters a house, the spirits magically disappear. And wallets, yeah, sometimes, and keys as well. So a warm welcome to everyone. It's lovely to be surrounded by so many family and friends, and Nigel back there as well. I had prepared a superb speech for you today, but unfortunately now I'm married, I've been told that I have to read this one instead. So you'll be expecting a few laughs in this speech, but I know I need to tread carefully, as I'm sure that I've already heard the parents-in-law introducing me as their daughter's first husband. So this is a spoiler alert. This is the bit where you all go wild with applause for the camera. On behalf of my wife and I, correct response. I'd like to thank you all for coming along and sharing in our special day. It wouldn't be, especially my sister. Yes, exactly. It wouldn't be the same without you all here. It would obviously be a lot cheaper. I'm not really one for public speaking. I have a couple of coping mechanisms, one of which is here in my right hand, and the other is that I'm picturing all of you naked right now.
Such a treat,
Kelvin, you need to lay off those sandals. I'd just like to say a few words before I spend the next 40 or so years listening. Well, you know, Chloe says I never listen to her or something like that. Firstly, I'd like to say how absolutely gorgeous my work is. I think you'll all agree, absolutely stunning. I'm very lucky. Very proud to be able to call myself her husband. And secondly, this is the bit where I'm going to get emotional. There are people here no longer with us. I know would have loved to have been here as part of this day. So here's to absent friends and family.
Right.
I hate that bit. Sorry. I cry at every episode of DIY SOS. Thirdly, thank you to everyone who's contributed to making today possible. So many of you have been so generous in both your time and in sponsoring the various elements that make up today, and it means a lot to us. So I've got to say a few thank yous, and I'll do this in no particular order. To my mum. Where's my mum? There she is. Obstacles in family. To my mum, obviously, I'd like to thank you for producing such a wonderful son. To my best men, Mike and Andy, a lovely night out in Bristol. Not words you often hear together, but it was only marred by a poor refereeing decision towards the back end of the 80 minutes. To Jonesy and Sam, your help and effort in putting together what we're seeing on tables, on boards, etc. has been priceless. I know Chloe wants to say a massive thank you for your help, and Sam, also you've made the cake that we see over there. A massive thanks to you all. You've been absolutely brilliant. To Nat, thank you as well. You kicked off the Hen Weekend activities and also graciously allowed Jonesy to organise everything else that went along with it. In the event of you get a couple of nights away from the kids. But, all your help's been amazing, and we thank all of you. I'd actually like a little round of applause for those three. They've been brilliant. So it's also appropriate to acknowledge how hard you've worked on today, and what a great job you've done in bringing this all together. For the record, my contribution on that front has probably been much less than 50%. I've kind of summed it up as get dressed, turned up, say yes, give speech. So I like that last bit now. It was almost like I wasn't trusted to do more, but there we are. Nicky and Sean, Mum, Teresa and Andy, Mike and Jenny, thank you. Thank you all for everything you put towards this day. And of course, Grandad and Susie for your contribution in the form of the dress. I think you can agree, Chloe looks incredible. Absolutely stunning. Lorraine and Rob, I know you're out there. Thank you for all your support as well. I've missed people, no doubt, but not on purpose. So thank you all to everyone who helped. And to all of you for taking the time and effort, and of course cost, to be here with us today. It's quite overwhelming. And let's not forget, of course, to thank all those folks at Barclaycard and the HSBC Personal Loans Department, without whom none of this is possible. Don't laugh at my own jokes. Anyway, to the staff here at Dayton Golf Club, my thanks go to you for making the venue so perfect. It looks absolutely brilliant here today, and we will quite literally be forever in your debt. So as you may or may not know, we only decided to do this about 6 weeks ago, and as you can imagine, it's been a bit hectic over that period. In fact, I don't know if you know, but about 3 weeks ago we had a bit of a disaster when our credit card was stolen, but I decided not to cancel it because the criminals were spending less on it than I was. Knowing how expensive this day is, I think I'd also like to dedicate a special shout out and thank you for those who declined our invitation. And for the rest of you, I think being here today is testament to a few things. What a great bunch of friends and family we have, and how lucky we are to have them. Just how many people care about us and want to wish us well, but mostly, and I can't emphasise this enough, just how far people are prepared to go for a meal that someone else is paying for. I asked a friend once about what his wedding cost, and he looked at me blankly and said, "I'm still paying for it." Most of you will know I'm not really one to speak my mind or say inappropriate things. Particularly when I've had a drink. Anyway, let's have a drink. But just in case, Chloe has kindly proofread my speech. I mean, how thoughtful was that? With a tendency to have the odd outburst which might contain something inappropriate, I've taken the time to script what I'm going to say to avoid such mishaps. But for an occasion, but for an occasion like this, I'm keen to make sure I say nothing that might offend. Mr. D, that was for you. Nicky, Grandad, Joe. Nikki Grandad John, sorry. Today you've given me the greatest gift of all. The gift of your beautiful daughter, your granddaughter, Chloe. And I promise you to thoroughly enjoy unwrapping that gift tonight. Sorry. For those of you who know Chloe, you'll know she's a wonderful, caring person who deserves a good husband. But luckily, she's married me before she found one. Chloe's a lot younger than me. Just saying. But seriously, you brought up a beautiful, kind, compassionate, clever woman, and you gave her away willingly. Maybe a bit too willingly. Chloe is unique. The only English person I know to support Wales, and the only person I know who thinks having a Welsh accent is something to be proud of. I wasn't sure if I'd ever get married again. At one point, I put in the ad in the local paper saying wife wanted. To my surprise, I got over 100 replies, all saying the same thing. You can have mine. Oh, this is bad. I remember when I met Chloe. Chloe was the prettiest girl on the dance floor. I can see her now lying there. Face down in a puddle of her own making, asking for another Baileys.
Good old mate.
Hey.
Now, believe it or not, one of us in this relationship is quite arrogant, stubborn, and a bit of a know-it-all. From how football should be played to how the grass should be cut. But luckily for me, Chloe's been patient, open, and most of all, willing to learn. It was around 5 years ago my life changed unimaginably. I found a friend who ever since has stuck by me, someone who listens to my jokes, listens to my moans.
Somebody's got to.
Comforts me when I'm down and is always excited and pleased to see me when I get home. Someone who never says a bad word about me or to me and has showed me unconditional love from day one, so I'd like you all to raise a glass.
Hey.
To Taffy, I'll say it all, Russell Sausage Cross. Sorry, Clint.
You've killed my speech. So
I think you'll kill your speech, mate. A good friend once told me that finding your wife is not about finding that perfect person or your soulmate necessarily. It's about finding that someone with whom you have core compatibilities and share the same vision when it comes to core values. It's about being able to sit and talk together, the ability to admit fault and to resolve conflict. And that got me thinking, you know what, Nick? You're right. A good wife always forgives her husband when she's wrong. Chloe and I don't always see eye to eye, but on the important issues we're all on the same page, like how our 6 children are going to grow up and run a whiskey distillery. We are different people with different personalities. Some mornings I wake up grumpy, sometimes I just let her sleep. But Chloe, communication is so important in a relationship. I didn't speak with Chloe for almost a week before leading up to this event at the wedding, because I'm polite and I don't like to interrupt. Before I met Chloe, I could honestly say I was incomplete, and now I can certainly say that I'm finished. You've kept me honest, you've kept me grounded. If it wasn't for you, I'd go through life thinking I had no faults at all. Billy has some good stuff. But to finish, thank you for marrying me and making me the proudest and happiest man in the world.
Hey.
I'm nearly finished. You're a great mum, a really great mum. We've got a lovely son in Harry. You're a great friend and you're a stepmom to Alex. You're an amazing woman, and we're going to have a great life. And we're going to. I'm extremely lucky to have two great sons, which I'm so proud of. And now a much bigger family that we're both lucky to have, as well as a much bigger circle of friends. I'd like you all now to raise a glass to my beautiful bride, Chloe. I love you, and I'm looking forward to the rest of my life trying to figure you out.
Three.
Chloe.
I nearly got through that without crying. So I think I'm now going to hand over to Andy.
Three.
Follow that.